everyone, and welcome back to CoinTalk Podcast for another deep dive. If you've been following crypto at all lately, you've probably heard some less than positive buzz around Ethereum. And today we're going to try to break down why that is. We're going to go deep on some recent articles and social media posts to kind of help make sense of what's going on and what's at stake for Ethereum and why all this negativity is kind of swirling around this leading blockchain.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation for sure. Ethereum has this long-standing reputation as kind of a pioneer in the blockchain space. But despite that, it's facing this wave of criticism from multiple directions right now. Concerns about its price performance, a perceived lack of, really exciting developments, and even some controversial moves by the Ethereum Foundation itself.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a star athlete just suddenly struggle to keep up.
Yeah.
So I guess to start, let's break down these challenges one by one. And I think a good place to begin is with Ethereum's price woes. We all saw that strong start to 2024 hitting that $4,000 mark.
Right. But then things kind of took a turn for the worse, unfortunately. And that downward trend has kind of persisted. Ethereum's still a far cry from its 2021 high of 4,878 outlazers. And this underperformance is definitely causing some anxiety among investors.
Makes you wonder what's driving this disparity. Because, Ethereum has always been considered the more innovative, the more versatile platform.
Right. And to really understand that, you have to kind of look at what's capturing the attention and the wallets of retail investors these days. And I think that brings us to, competitors like Solana.
Oh, yeah, Solana.
Making headlines with flashy projects. Remember that whole crypto phone thing?
Yeah.
That was Solana. And then they even got, Donald Trump to launch a meme coin on their platform.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah, it is a pretty stark contrast.
It is.
You've got Ethereum really focusing on the nitty-gritty, the scalability, working on those layer 2 solutions to handle more transactions. And then you have Solana just grabbing attention with these meme coins and celebrity endorsements. It's almost like they're speaking two completely different languages.
Yeah, it's a great analogy. It highlights this challenge that Ethereum faces right now. Because layer 2 solutions, they're essential for Ethereum's long-term growth. They basically create this second layer on top of the main Ethereum blockchain to make transactions faster and cheaper, which is, crucial for wider adoption. But let's be honest, they're not exactly the most exciting thing to talk about.
No, it's not as flashy. It's kind of like comparing, a workhorse to a sports car.
Yeah.
They both have their purpose, but one of them definitely turns heads on the street.
And speaking of things that are not winning hearts and minds in the crypto community, we have to talk about the Ethereum Foundation's ETH sales.
Right. This has caused quite a stir. The foundation, which is basically, a nonprofit that supports the Ethereum ecosystem, has been selling off some of its ETH holdings to cover operational costs, which, on the surface might seem like a reasonable decision. They need funds to keep things running and developing the platform.
Sure, but the crypto community is not exactly known for its, measured response.
No. To put it mildly, they're seeing this as a major betrayal, especially with the price of ETH already kind of struggling. To them, it feels like the foundation's, dumping ETH on the market, driving the price down even further.
Yeah, and, to understand their anger, I think we need to look at the specifics of these sales. There was one event on January 20th that really fueled the fire. The foundation swapped 100 ETH for 336,500 DAI, which is a stable coin pegged to the US dollar.
So this wasn't just a one-time thing?
No, not at all. Data shows they'd already offloaded, over $670,000 worth of ETH just in the first 3 weeks of January.
So it's not just the amount, it's the timing of it all.
Right.
And this lack of transparency that's really rubbing people the wrong way.
Exactly. It feels like they're pulling the rug out from under the community when everybody's looking for signs of, strength and stability.
And as if things weren't already tense enough, in walks Josh Stark.
Right.
Prominent figure in the Ethereum world, tries to defend the foundation's actions, saying that they are using Ethereum by swapping it for stablecoins.
Ooh.
That didn't go over well, did it?
Not really. The community saw this as a very weak justification for what they see as market manipulation. And the backlash on social media was swift.
Oh, yeah.
And brutal.
Yeah, I saw some of those comments. They were brutal.
One user on X, formerly Twitter, said, "Mindless cockroaches. They're mindlessly tanking the price and offering the most idiotic excuses."
Wow. Not exactly the kind of PR the Ethereum Foundation was hoping for.
No, not at all. So we've got Ethereum's price struggling to gain traction. We have a community that's outraged by the foundation's actions and this kind of growing sense of unease about Ethereum's future. So where do we go from here? Well, to answer that, I think we need to hear from the man himself, Vitalik Buterin.
Yeah, Vitalik.
So stick with us here on CoinTalk Podcast as we unpack his response to all of this and explore, can Ethereum reclaim its crown, or is it destined to become the reliable but somewhat boring minivan of the crypto world? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss part 2 of this deep dive. Coming up right after this.
Welcome back to CoinTalk Podcast. Before the break, we were just sort of dissecting the Ethereum Foundation's controversial ETH sales. And, the community's not so happy response to all of that. But in the midst of all this drama, there's one voice that carries a lot of weight, and that is Vitalik Buterin, Ethereum's co-founder.
Yeah, when Vitalik speaks, the crypto world listens. So did he come in and calm the storm? Or does he just kind of add fuel to the fire?
Well, he didn't shy away from the controversy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
In a response on X, Vitalik acknowledged the community's concerns and even revealed that the foundation has considered an alternative to selling ETH, and that alternative is staking.
Now, for those who might not be super familiar with staking, it's basically a way to earn rewards by locking up your crypto to support the network's security and operations. Kind of like earning interest on your crypto holdings.
Exactly. It's become quite popular.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people in the community have been wondering why the foundation wasn't staking their ETH instead of selling it.
Right. Seems like a much better solution on the surface.
Yeah, aligns the foundation's interests with the long-term success of Ethereum. You're putting your money where your mouth is, so to speak.
Exactly.
But Vitalik explained that there were actually a couple of major concerns that were holding them back. The first being regulatory uncertainty.
Makes sense.
Staking is still a bit of a gray area in terms of regulations. Nobody knows exactly how governments are going to treat it, and the foundation wants to avoid any unwanted attention from regulators.
I can understand that regulatory scrutiny can be a real headache in the crypto world. What was the other concern?
The risk of a network split, or what's also known as a hard fork.
Hard fork. Yeah.
This happens when there's a major disagreement within a blockchain community, leading to the creation of 2 separate versions of the blockchain.
So how does staking play into this possibility of a hard fork?
Well, if the Ethereum Foundation stakes its ETH and then a hard fork happens, they'd be forced to pick a side, and that could have significant repercussions. They could potentially lose their stake ETH if they end up on the wrong side of the fork, or damage their reputation within the community. It's a high-stakes game.
So it's not as simple as just stake it and forget about it.
No.
The foundation has to weigh those potential risks against the benefits.
Right.
And with all this uncertainty in the regulatory and technological landscape, it's a tough call.
Absolutely. But Vitalik did mention that they've been exploring ways to minimize these risks associated with staking, so maybe we'll see them dip their toes into staking in the future.
That would be a really interesting development. Okay, so we've got Ethereum trying to navigate some really choppy waters here. The price isn't exactly inspiring confidence. The community is really upset about these ETH sales. And even Vitalik is walking this tightrope when it comes to staking. So what does all of this mean for the future of Ethereum? Is this just kind of a temporary setback, or is there something more fundamental going on here? Welcome back to CoinTalk Podcast. So we spent this episode kind of unpacking this whole controversy surrounding Ethereum. The price struggles, the community backlash over the Ethereum Foundation's ETH sales, even Vitalik Buterin's kind of cautious stance on staking. But now let's zoom out a little bit and look at the bigger picture.
Yeah, I think if we connect all of this to the, broader crypto landscape, this controversy really highlights a fundamental tension that's been kind of brewing for a while now, and that is this allure of hype versus the importance of substance.
It's like that age-old dilemma, right? Choosing between a quick sugar rush and a nutritious meal. The sugar rush might feel good in the moment, but it's the nutritious meal that actually sustains you for the long haul.
100%. And, we're seeing competitors like Solana grabbing all these headlines with their flashy projects, celebrity endorsements. They're appealing to that fear of missing out, that FOMO that drives so much of, the market these days.
Yeah, it's like they're throwing a massive party and everyone wants to be on the guest list.
Right. Meanwhile, Ethereum is over here focused on building the underlying infrastructure, the technology that could support a truly decentralized future. It's less glamorous, it's more technical, but it's arguably, much more crucial for the long-term success of the crypto space.
So if Solana is the life of the party, Ethereum is more like the architect, carefully designing the foundation for a skyscraper.
I like that analogy a lot, and it really underscores this challenge for Ethereum. How do you convince people to care about the foundation when they're so distracted by the flashing lights and the loud music?
Yeah, that is the million-dollar question. Can Ethereum find a way to balance its focus on scalability and security with the need to also capture the imagination of the community?
It's a delicate balancing act, and it's something we're going to continue to explore here on CoinTalk Podcast. This controversy has definitely exposed some vulnerabilities, but it's also a reminder that Ethereum is still a force to be reckoned with. They have a passionate community, a dedicated team of developers, and a vision that extends, far beyond the latest hype cycle.
It's like watching a superhero go through a midlife crisis. They might be a little bruised and battered, but they still have the potential to save the day.
For sure. And I think the key takeaway for, our viewers is this. The crypto landscape is constantly evolving. There will be hype cycles, there will be controversies, but the underlying technology continues to advance. So it's important to stay informed, to ask tough questions, and to not get swept away by the hype.
Absolutely. So what do you think is the best path forward for Ethereum? Should it embrace the hype? Should it double down on its technical strengths? Or is there some other way to kind of navigate this ever-changing landscape?
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, we want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let's keep this conversation going. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to CoinTalk Podcast for more in-depth discussions on all things crypto, and share this video with your friends.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and stay tuned to CoinTalk Podcast.